Hi, I'm Babatunde. For this topic, I'll be talking about corporal punishment in Africa, precisely in Nigeria. That's what we'll be talking about for this video. Now, if you check my background, you discover that it's different from my previous videos because I'm shooting this video in my friend's house. Yes, that's why the background is different. All right. For this, I want to talk about physical punishment being given to children whenever they err or whenever they fail to follow a rule. How it is being carried out. What's the difference between the way children are disciplined in Africa to those that are being disciplined in the Western world? We're going to look at what it means, the differences. I'm not here to tell you that one part is better than the other. Using corporal punishment is better than not using it, or not using it is better than using it. But I'm going to tell you my opinion on this as a person, what I believe the corporal punishment should be. Should it be present or not? Today I received a toaster all the way from the United Kingdom. Thank you very much, my sender. I have a name, but I don't want to disclose her name until I'll take permission from her. So ask her if I could mention her name in my videos or not. Thank you very much. From UK, she sent me a toaster, and I'm very, very happy for that. I mean, the truth is I've never eaten toast bread before. Yes, using this toaster will be the first time that I'll be eating toast bread. So it's going to be a wonderful and a brand new experience for me. All right. So if you have something you want to send to me, my email will be in the screen of video, and also my WhatsApp number will be there. My phone number will also be there. You can contact me. And also, if you want my PO box address, once you mail me, I can easily give it to you. Thank you all for your support. And to my patrons, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate you guys. Without all this would not be possible. Mr. Mike, Atomic Stream, thank you. You've been a wonderful man in my life. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, to continue the corporal punishment, I don't need to tell you the meaning of corporal punishment. I'm talking to Westerners. But there's a question that when we're little, we've been asking ourselves, how do Westerners discipline their children? We never knew how it is, because we were trained with corporal punishment. Every one of us, all our friends, we all used to receive corporal punishment. In fact, it is part and parcel of government school. It's government school. They flog children thoroughly. But we have it in some standard private school now where they don't flog children anymore. And I've taught in such school, and I can tell you some of the things that I observed in such an environment. As a Nigerian, as an African who was raised in a home of corporal punishment, I can easily highlight some of the effects of corporal punishment on a child. Easily highlight them. Number one is that it puts fear in the children, because these children are little, they don't understand why they are being punished yet. Once they are going to be flogged, it makes them to be afraid. And once they become so fearful enough, they may turn out to be an introvert. That's why we have some cases where some children, naturally, when the children is growing, they'll become curious. But when they have fear for their parents, instead of asking those parents questions that is popping into their mind, they will just keep shut. And this affects the intelligence and the brilliance of the child. So fear, the corporal punishment causes fear in the children because they don't want to be beaten. As high as an example now, I hate being flogged, but it's hurt me a lot. So I was very afraid of being caned. The fear was in me, even up to now. The number two effect is injury. Yes, children can be easily injured if you are flogging them. We've seen a case where a father was flogging his child, and accidentally the cane that was using penetrated the child's eye, and the child became blind, permanently blind in one eye. So it can cause serious injury to the child. We've seen cases where during the beating of the child, that the child give up the ghost. So it happens injury. Sometimes when it's gone to large extent, it can result to death. Yes, that is for real. And number 3 is that reclusiveness. The children will be reclusive. That's what I talk about the fear. When they are reclusive, because they are afraid, the fear will be in them. As a result, they won't want to be, they won't be to be interactive and be an extrovert. They'll just be scared. And the 4th one is that our abuse. It is very, very easy to use corporal punishment to abuse a child. Very, very easy. In fact, when you look at let's say you look at our 5 parents in Nigeria, for example, now, when you look at the way they give out corporal punishment to their children, it's very, very possible for you to see 3 out of those 5 parents to be abusing their children. It's to be abusing their children using the corporal punishment. So they easily abuse the children. And in Africa, let me say in Nigeria generally, you believe that you have to flog your children before they can be learning, before they can be responsible. And that is not true. A child does not necessarily to be flogged before they can be responsible. But we believe that right here in Nigeria, that you have to flog them seriously before a child can become responsible, and that is not true at all. Not true at all. And I'm an example of that. What are the factors responsible for corporal punishment? Why do African parents? I know there are some parents in Western world too that they give their children corporal punishment. Though I'm very sure in the United States, I think the law is against it in the United States, but I'm not sure of that of UK and other Western countries. But in your country, your country in Europe and America, if your country is against corporal punishment, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll go through the comments. Oh, thank you. All right. So the factor responsible for that, number 1 is that the environment, the kind of environment where they find themselves. A child now that is born in the ghetto now, for example, now it's ghetto will be full of wayward and undisciplined and untrained children. So it's very, very possible for that child, to be mimicking those, to be influenced by those wayward and irresponsible children that are there. So when the child is behaving irresponsibly, it's very, very likable for the parent to turn to corporal punishment. And number 2, we have poverty. Yes, poverty. Poverty is a disease, like we used to say in Africa, that when you are poor, when you are a pauper, you are likely to turn everything into violence because you will always be angry. So I observed that children who are born into a well-off with a wealthy family, they receive less cane than those who are born into a poor family. So as a result, poverty plays a key role on a children to see how they are going to be punished whenever they err. Plays a role. And the last but not the least, we have the love. The level of the love that the parents have for the children. Yes, how much they love the children will also play a role. I've seen a case where a father will be beating the children as if he wanted them to die. Yes, I've seen a case like that, where beating the children to an extent that the child was close to dying, and the father didn't care. So the level of love, the kind of love that the parents have for the children will play a role on whether they are going to experience corporal punishment or the level of corporal punishment that they are going to, they are going to be given the children. It plays a lot. All right. So if you can think of any other factor, those are the 3 factors that I'll be talking about. If you can think of any other factors that you think responsible for that, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll surely go through it. Those are the factors and the effect that I can think of for now. Now, the question may be the most important question now, that I've seen some of my friends ask, that we ask ourselves back then when we were growing up, is that how do Westerners, we know that Westerners, they don't beat their children. Now the question is that how do they control their children? Because we know that children can throw tantrums anyway. And we have some children that they can behave like a devil sometimes. Yes. How do they get disciplined? When we were growing up, I had no idea. Because the only thing we knew when we were growing up is that when a child misbehaves, you cane them, you flog them. We had no idea. But when I become a parent, I understand that you can train a child. Now I know a way or ways to train your child without flogging them abusively. Yes, I know how you can train them without flogging them abusively. And now also, how much the parents, how much they are willing to endure for the sake of training their children. How much they are willing to endure for the sake of training their children, to understand that this is the typical behavior of a child. We have some parents that they expect their child to behave like an adult. So they still don't understand the typical behavior of a child. They just want their child to behave like them. And they didn't think of how they behave when they were a child. I've seen cases where parents will be lamenting on their child that, hey, look at him. He doesn't know anything that to play and to eat. What do you expect from a child? He's just a child. What do you expect? Do you expect him to stay in his room and be reading all night? A child of, let's say, 6 years old, the parent will be expecting them to be behaving like an adult. So the reasoning, the level of mentality of the parents will also play a key role on whether they are going to be, experiencing corporal punishment, or it's going to be very little or completely absent. The reasoning, a parent must know that a child will always behave like a child. When you see your child behaving like you, like an adult, I'm very sure you should be worried. Because children will behave like children. But we have many of us in Nigeria, let me say, in Africa, we always expect our children to behave like us as an adult. And I believe that is responsible for flogging them. Yes, for flogging them. We expect them to emulate us. No, they are children. There are some things that they can emulate from us. They can't, because they've not developed to that level. They've not developed to that level. Okay, that's it for the video. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section below. And once again, special thanks to my patron for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. You've been wonderful, and I'm grateful to you guys. Without you, this would not be possible. Thank you so much. See you next time.